Okay. All right. Second, let me just all right, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. And as you can see in the title, Dear US, please default on your debts. Thank you. Goodbye. And this is just, just a funny little title that came to mind as I was reading this article here. I've linked it in the description box so you can get access to it there. But as you can see, it says McCarthy to resume debt negotiations tonight. Vows to block Biden push to increase spending. And basically, this has been updated since I last read it. But when I read it, basically they were going into how, although on the outward side they are making it seem as though these talks are going somewhere and they're going good, you know, really things ain't going too good behind the scenes. Now, whether they're actually gonna default on their debts or not, that's yet to be seen. I think that at some point they're probably just gonna go last minute and then just like pass something last minute or so. But it would, that's why the title is what it is. It would be real great if they don't get to do that, right? If the Lord puts a spirit on them to where they're not able to do so, and they default, because I could have a lot of cascading economic turmoil, all right, that comes out of that. Which we know at the same time, this is also what they're looking for, all right, as they move towards this new digital financial system. All right, they're looking for that breakdown of the current system. All right, of cash, of really just one of the not stumbling blocks, but one of the blockers. Okay, that is in the way of these elites' agenda is the U.S. is America is what they call capitalism. All right, they want to break all of that down, and taking down the U.S. is going to be a very big phase in that, and it's going to have a huge ripple effect. So, I mean, let's see how they do it, But let's keep reading. So, let's read what it says here. It says House Speaker Kevin McCarthy said he expected negotiations to, or he expected negotiations to avert U.S. debt default will restart Friday night. It's true that we took a pause because of the frustration that this White House will not acknowledge that they're spending too much, McCarthy said in an interview with Fox Business. The White House will not budge, but he added, we'll be back in the room tonight. The House Speaker also said that Biden invoking the 14th Amendment wouldn't solve any problems and added that he vows to block any Biden push to increase spending. Which what are they doing with all that money? Well, they keep sending it over there to Ukraine, and then here it is. They got all these problems over here, but they're more concerned with whatever it is that the money is going to do over there, as they claim is to aid and package this and give them that and give them this, But at the end of the day, we know that behind the scenes is the hidden hand, right? When you look at a puppet show, you see well, most people don't really focus and see the strings, but you just see the movement of the puppets. But if you really look behind the curtain, you'll see that there's one individual, in most cases, that is controlling both puppets, one with one hand and another with another hand, and then he's having them interact. So you may see both of them going at it, thinking, "Oh, these are two opposing sides," but they're controlled by the same hand. Okay, same brain, two different hands. Um, so anyway, it says McCarthy's remarks come after a turbulent few days of negotiations. One day after McCarthy said he expected a deal on the House floor next week, GOP negotiators walked out of talks with White House officials, and an abrupt and unexpected reversal from optimistic signals on progress from both sides a day earlier. So one day is on, one day is not. One day is this, one day is that. It says, which was just posturing. The Republican term's departure from the closed door session at about an hour after it began Friday morning threw into doubt the status of talks to avoid a U.S. default, which the U.S. is in a whole lot of debt and is now catching up to their ass. They thought that we can. I believe there's a video that actually, I forgot who the individual was, but he said a U.S. default on debt would never happen because we would just be able to just print the money out of thin air. So we would never be in a case like that. But now people are starting to say that your air printed money is really worthless. People are starting to see that. And the US default debt would be very, very catastrophic for this place, especially at this time. The standings of the US is not great. All right. And these are more signs that we look out for, because really what we're looking at is the bigger goal. We're looking at the bigger picture, what the ultimate, goal at the end of it all. But these are all steps to get there. It's all one step at a time. So every time we see a step in the direction of prophecy, we know we make mention of it, letting you know that's how you measure the times. Oh, there, that's another step closer. That's another step closer. And before you know it, that gap is smaller and smaller and smaller, and then boom, something goes down. Because one way or another, we're gonna get to that point. It's just a matter of time. That's all it is right now. Just a matter of time. Whether they actually default or whether they pass something last minute is just a matter of time. Now it says, according to Bloomberg, there was not a dramatic flare up in the room before negotiators left. According to one person familiar with the negotiations, another person familiar with the talks said it wasn't a specific issue, but ranged broadly across GOP budget cutting demands. Yesterday, when explaining the real reason for Thursday's tech-led melt-up, which for those who missed it was the biggest call buying spree cum gamma squeeze since 2014. Let's see what else we have in here. It says, we mocked those idiots who blindly parroted the ridiculous narrative that debt ceiling talks were going well. Once again, for the very cheap seats, we won't see a debt ceiling solution until the markets panic. For the simple reason that, as we went on to say, there would be no deal until the market freaked out, to wit. But before someone idiotically tosses that today's melt-up was because of more good news on the debt ceiling negotiations, there was zero news, neither good nor bad, and we hate to break it to you, but there will be no debt ceiling deal until after the market freaks out. So enjoy the frenzied rush higher. So that's the stance that they take on here. They're saying, look, you ain't gonna see no deal until they start seeing markets start panicking. All right. But the thing that these devils like to do, hence they're called devils, is deceive. So there's one goal, but it's almost like their destination is in the west, but they start walking towards the east, and that to confuse people. So now people start questioning, wait, why are they going towards the east? I thought their destination was in the west. So are they is their destination actually in the west? Are they, is there something else? Maybe did I miss? That's what they do. But at the end of the day, they're gonna end up in the east. Okay, that's what they do. They just like to throw people off. They like the whatever that challenge that came out not too long ago, where they say never let them know your next move. Well, that's what these elites basically do. But really, they do it by hiding things in plain sight. And they have these cover-ups, these cover stories, things they throw out into the media to catch the attention of people, and then under the hood, they're doing all these things behind the scenes. So you always got to watch everything, you know. Whether it's, that's why the scriptures say, don't be ignorant of any matter in a small, in a small and a great matter. Now there was an interesting quote that was mentioned here. It said here, look, they're just unreasonable, Republican Representative Gary Graves said, adding that the talks were on quote unquote pause. He added that he did not know if the negotiators would meet again Friday or over the weekend, which is a problem because we showed last night the Treasury cash is now down to just $18 billion away from the Treasury's critical cash level of $50 billion. At this rate, the Treasury will run out of cash in a few days. Okay? And that ain't looking too good now, is it? So let's see. Let's see what happens. I'm not really going to read through the whole entire thing. But I have linked it in the description so you can get access to it there. All right, now real quick, let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 59. And I'm actually going to go to chapter 51, verse 8. It says, Babylon is suddenly fallen and destroyed. So this time, right, when Babylon falls, it's gonna be followed up with destruction. They're not gonna fall to get back up again. They're gonna fall to be destroyed. And that's how Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua has set it up. So the Lord is bringing them down, and the people are covered in such gross darkness that as they're going down with it, they don't even realize that this place is going down. As it says, howl for her, take balm for her pain, if so be she may be healed. Because this fall, this crash is going to be very great. It's going to have a lot of devastating effects. As the saying goes, the bigger they are, the harder they fall. And what makes it even worse is a lot of people are not expecting. Like some of them, they'll see this, and a part of them will think maybe it's a possibility. But in the other part, which is the denial part of them, will say, "Nah, that's not possible. They're not going to actually do that." So one day when this actually happens, when something goes down, people are going to be in shock, and they're not going to know what to do because they never continue to look into, hey, what if they actually did default? Or what if this situation happened? What if there was an economic collapse? What if X, Y, and Z happened? What if the grid went down? What would I do? People don't look, the average individual doesn't look past that. Their brain stops at, what if this happened? It's not going to happen. Why am I even thinking about that? Then they get distracted. So they've never actually thought through what a real scenario would look like for them in a situation like that. They've never actually meditated on that. And a lot of times they'll think that, oh, it'll just be like that movie that I watched where the main character did this and he did that and he went and found this car and he saved that chick and he was, kicking ass. So if anything, I'll just do what he did. And then you forget the key part that it's a movie, it's acting. All right. So when this thing goes down with a lot of people not expecting it, not having exposed their minds, not even in imagination to a scenario like this, what do you think is going to happen to them? A lot of people are going to be in shock. Deadly shock. Verse 9. So what's going to happen after people realize that this place is not coming back, that there is no healing for it? It says, verse 9, we would have healed Babylon, but she is not healed. They're going to realize there's nothing more you can do for this place. So what they're going to do at that point? Forsake her and let us go every one into his own country. For her judgment reacheth unto heaven and is lifted up even to the skies. So that's going to be the sentiment. As this place is going down, you're going to have people just stepping out the way. It's like somebody falling and everybody's moving out the way so that the person doesn't even touch them. Okay, so moving on, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 47, verse 5. It says, sit thou silent. And this is dealing with America, all right, or Babylon, but it's personified. So it's dealing with this place, but it's speaking of it as a woman. Just like the Apostle John saw Babylon as a woman. So it says, sit thou silent, get thee into darkness, O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Which tells us that at one point they were called the Lady of Kingdoms. They were looked at as that high superpower, that dreamland. the place everybody wants to be. But now people are starting to see, oh no, this is not the place everybody wants to be. In fact, this is the place that everybody wants to flee from. Right? It's like that people starting to see the chick that always looks bad as in like good, American slang, right? Bad is good, literally. So the chick that looks good, and then she gets exposed and people see what she actually looks like. Matter of fact, hold on a second. Let me actually share this as well. Salaki, I gotta get used to this share tab switch context thing, but let me see. um let's see. Let's see. Oh my goodness. Yeah, here's a good example. So as you can see right here, give you, oh my gosh. Oh Lord. Look at this. Now, hey. Anyway, I just typed in crazy women without makeup transformations. So they put the compilation together and you can see the two different looks, right? So you would see a chick like this and you would not imagine that she would look like this. Now, whether this is the same chick or they just put two pictures together, I don't know. I just typed it in Google, but the point is what remains, right? Eyebrows half gone. I mean, the face is just done. No, look at that. So, and then look at this. If you saw this chick and you saw this chick, you would think they were two different people. In fact, you'd probably run away if you woke up and saw a chick looking like this next to you. So, what happens is Babylon, which looked like this at one point, now it's starting to look like this. It's starting to look like this. It's starting to look like that, and that, and that. What else they got on here? Oh, and definitely that and that. Hell to the no. You know what I mean? So basically this is what you have going on. This is just like an example to drive the point home. So now they're starting to see this place for what it truly is. And as it says here, that's why it says that thou shalt no more be called the Lady of Kingdoms. Now I'm going to jump down to verse 7. It says, and thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. So they thought they would be in that position continually. As the scriptures say that you didn't consider it. Well, I'm gonna read that, but the scriptures also say that oh man, thought just escaped me. But I'll finish this for now. If it comes back, then I'll mention it. But it says, thou saidest, I shall be a lady forever. Oh, right. Their inward thought, Psalms 49 and 11. Their inward thought is that their houses shall continue, forever. So that thou didst not lay these things to thy heart, neither didst remember the latter end of it. So they didn't think about this, right? They didn't consider the day that this situation comes upon them, and because of that, they didn't plan for it. A lot of people, at least, didn't. So they're gonna get taken by surprise. Therefore, hear now this, thou that are given to pleasures, because somebody that's given to pleasures, like an Epicurean, basically has nothing to worry about. They just want to live life, YOLO. That dwellest carelessly, that sayest in thine heart. So this is what their thought is. I am and none else beside me, which is a very proud thought. I shall not sit a widow, neither shall I know the loss of children, which is just another way of saying that they're always going to be in that rich, lofty, have whatever you want, spoiled position, and not have to experience loss and pain and suffering, and not have to bereave or mourn or lament. But now that false sense of reality is being shattered. And now it's like day after day, you're seeing more and more news that is showing you the instability of this place. Okay, it's like a bridge. You know those bridges that are like over a very high place. You got like one piece of land, like a cliff, and another cliff, and you have that one bridge that connects to both of them, and it's really just held up by ropes and short planks. So what this place is like that bridge, and here it is, you standing in the middle of it, and the rope is so torn up. It's just like one thread holding up each side. That's what this place is looking like. And everywhere you turn, you see more and more parts of the rope tearing. So eventually, you're gonna realize I got to get off this bridge, and hopefully I'm lucky enough to get off before it collapses. That's pretty much the state of this place. All right, the state of decay. Anyway, that's pretty much the point. That's the update on that. Lord willing, they do default, and Lord willing, this was edifying to the elect. In closing, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Racha Kodash. And until next time, Shalom.